You just kind of run it down
Okay,
on you,
yeah.
and it just works. What do I even build on here? Like Rage Blade? Or no,
I have no clue what that champ is.
I
It's just
build
a
Bork.
board. Oh yeah, fair.
Bork make you hate your life.
I mean, it's just the ADC playing top lane.
Yeah, pretty much.
On Vayne.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually it's Bork, Gwynsu's, and then you go Terminus is kind of the broken item right now.
Okay. Yeah, I've literally never played this champion. I just decided I wanted to make his life hell in a 1v1.
Yeah.
Come. I am going to do the next VOD review here shortly.
As soon as we're
Just a
done, it
minute.
will happen.
Yeah, let's finish
Yeah,
this.
you're good.
Wait, so in Texas, you guys can carry guns?
Yeah. We have an open carry law. I have a CHL. I have a concealed handgun license, but generally speaking, you can OP. No.
No.
I try to stay as far away from politics as possible.
Fair enough.
It hurts. I don't know what I'm doing.
I wish I was in the States. On some parts of me wish I was in the States. Some parts don't want to go in the States.
It hurts. I don't know how to play this champion. Now you can get to me. Okay, here's the plan. We proxy you.
Proxy? What? Oh, so you made me push my wave, uh-huh. Yes. You're me to pushing my wave. I can't hit anything.
Oh, it hurts. I should have rolled, but I was almost out of mana and I wanted to save it. I didn't think you'd actually hit me.
Oh. His hitbox is fucking weird.
It is really weird, isn't it? But either way, let's go ahead and hop out. Get ready for him.
Yeah. I just don't think Vayne is just that great.
I think Vayne is incredibly good.
Good?
I think she's so good.
I think that.
And okay, I don't think that's sorry. In comp, it's a lot harder to pull off because you have to build a composition around it.
In solo queue, you just run.
In solo queue, it's crazy.
Yeah,
I hate that champion.
In solo queue,
you literally just run it down.
Yeah,
like,
and
it doesn't have any losing matchups.
In team, it's a lot harder to. It has some losing matchups, but they're not traditional top laners, right?
Yeah. So think about this. Think about this, Nugget. Yeah. Both of our champs that we love playing just get shit stomped by that champion.
Like, yeah, like I fucking hate her.
Like, she goes into Ornn, okay, she's just gonna dominate the Ornn, right? She goes against the Shin, I'm gonna pop my W and I'm gonna be like, yeah, can't hit me now, bitch. And then she's just gonna do the thing where she knocks me out of it, and then she just chases me down.
Ornn's not that bad, though.
If it's a good Vayne, trust me, it's that bad.
Okay, if it's a good Vayne, I'm fucked.
It's literally cancer. So I played one game of Swain. I played one game of Swain before I played him before, right? And I had such a bad taste in my mouth because the one game that I played Swain in, I had a Vayne in the top lane against Vayne. And my wife was literally watching me and she was like, "Man, you suck." And I was like, "No, I'm just not a champion of this thing anymore. Like, I don't get to play the game." Like I can trade, but I don't do the same amount of damage that she does. I have to do short trades, and she's just like, "Oh, you short traded me? I'm just gonna follow you."
That champion is.
So I'm not gonna spend not a ton of time on this game because I think it just kind of snowballed. But I think there's some little decisions here and there. So what you talked about for you, Nugget, is the trade patterns. Remember, so your passive, like, you need to get. Like, so it stacks up to 5 times. Once you do that, you gain you 30 attack. It applies the 5 hammer stacks on all attacks and all abilities hit, and then your ultimate, and I think it's just your ultimate does true damage now. Correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
I was testing it on Pity during the 1v1.
Yeah, so-
Yeah, that's what we were doing.
Yeah. So like on these trades, a lot of times you just gotta extend them. You gotta, if you're gonna take this trade, you gotta get to the fifth mark. The other thing too, so this is a little side note for against Volibear specifically. I know you really want to be aggressive with the Doran's blade because it's like you're Darius, right? Against Volibear specifically, Doran Shield does really, really well because his passive procs the Doran Shield all the time. And you just end up healing a ton because you can essentially get a free little proc of the passive for Doran Shield, and it just heals you more than what damage from the passive. And so you can like heal from it. It's really nice. Because how his passive works, it like bounces, right? And so you let it hit you once, and it gives you a full rotation of the Doran Shield, and then you back off, and then you walk back up, and it does it again and again and again, and you just keep healing.
I just played way too passively with Dale.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it. You just look a little bit uncomfortable on the matchup. So look how much he's bleeding. But in this one, so like you have to be like, it's okay to take these like this trade like this. This is the W though. In the early game, does so much damage. You gotta be really careful of that. Also the level 2. The fact that he had level 2 and you didn't is also... Wait, no, level 3. Just kidding. You both had level 2. I was like, wait. Brandon, do you have any things in terms of like the early clear from Wukong?
Yeah, I don't know if Wukong. I mean, I don't play him a lot, but I don't know if he's necessarily like a full clear type of jungle. Usually he likes more skirmishing and trading, and especially top here.
Yeah,
they're both trading super heavy. It's a very like volatile matchup. So I would say like for example, instead of full clearing here, you did like a 3 camp. You could have been here like when they're heavy trading and easily punish the Volibear.
And you do a good job right here, freezing the wave. This is what you totally should be doing. So you do a good job here. Where he's kind of just frozen out. So I like that.
This game was cancerous with the buy and the Wukong.
Yeah. So you have such a good freeze here. You don't really need to fight him here, especially with you being low health. Like you kind of force a fight a little bit, and you just walk too far up and get comboed. So it's just knowing you have the wave. He has no way of dealing with you at the moment. I think you can play that just a little bit slower. Because you get up a lot of CS by doing that, but...
One thing to note as well, like kind of like what we were talking about before, Nugget, your E is generally not something that you would just want to walk in and engage with all the time, right? It's more for utility as well. And so in that situation, you want to do like an organic fight. Like if he walks into one of your Qs or you're able to like auto reset on the W, like that's a better engage for you than just straight up pulling him with the E.
Played way too passively. Didn't know what Darius really did.
But again, I think Christian would attest to this. That's why we scrim it, right?
Yep, that's why we play it. I like that you guys get the flash here and then don't continue to chase since you don't know where the Nico is. You actually have vision here, so I think it's good that you guys don't chase there just because I think they rotate over and kill you. You maybe could have tried to extend for the MF, but it would have been a little scary. Oh, who joins? Mr. Taddy.
Oh, we were totally just talking trash, but no, I'm kidding.
Damn right, you better be. 'Cause 0-9, so you better tell me I'm a fucking piece of shit and I'm feeding.
It's not as bad as the 10-1 volley bear.
Oh. So, and that was good. So you guys played that, like, this is like, you have your guy top side, like, being able to dodge this stuff and play it out was good.
Yeah, and running to your jungler is super.
That was
important
super
right
good.
there.
Yeah, running to your jungler there was super good.
And exactly kind of what we were saying earlier, right? You had your E come up later in it, and you were able to use it as a utility in that fight to keep you alive and also help your jungler get them.
Yeah. Yeah, we pushed the wave, then we...
Yeah, yeah, and that's what you should do. He had to help you.
Okay, so right here, if we want to pause for a second, I noticed something here. You did a good job rotating to top off of that, like getting off your camps, and then you come back to do them. But if you look at it, you have all of your bot camps up, and if you look at your gold, I believe you were like 300 off of your Sunder, whatever it was, this Sundered Sky thing. And what you end up doing is recalling right here, and then you're like 300 gold short, but you have 3 camps up. So I think like that power spike is just so big, especially for Wukong.
It's worth
that you
staying
should
on
probably,
the map.
Yeah, you probably just want to stay and finish your full clear here, just so you can hit that item spike. Because I think you go back and you buy 2 of the components, and then you're like 300 gold out. So you're gonna want to take it back soon after that. So it makes more sense. It's just more efficient to finish your clear here and finish that item. So I believe you're only like 300 gold off at this point.
I think right now, though, I mean, the state, like, you guys are doing, you guys are up so far in the bot lane, too. It's just like, okay, you just guys...
Don't worry, I'll change that.
Yeah. That happens. So, here, it's just, you gotta know you have a Nico, right? You guys are getting the top side. You guys don't need to be crazy. Like, you guys should, like, that was so obvious, right? Like, we're chilling right here. And then all of a sudden a minion just starts walking over. Right here, we should be running. Like, what is it? Like, and I know they flash on us, but man, we should have just ran. It was pretty obvious.
I'm not gonna lie, I have a pea brain, and if that was me looking at it, I'd be like, yo, what is this minion doing? And they're like, oh wait.
What's this forecast minion doing?
Yeah. Why is there 4 casters? This one just came over from mid lane. Like, this is crazy. I wouldn't have put 2 and 2 together, but you know. I'm kind of special though, so.
Yeah, it happens.
I would have done it.
I mean, we're still up in gold, so we're still like okay in an okay spot.
Yeah, I think as a whole, their whole team was like honestly pretty trash at CSing. It felt like we got a lot of advantages off of just being better in lane.
In lane, yeah. And we're doing good. So like one thing that's here, so and this communication needs to be here from mid. Like, you gotta know, hey, there's a Nico that is somewhere on the map right now. You guys have to play uber safe. Especially when that, again, kind of same thing, right? Like all of a sudden, a minion comes flying at you, like from nowhere, just like it's chilling, right?
What's the minion doing?
It's not a minion, it's Nico. Like you can see it, right? So it's just like you can't be aggressive right there. You, especially because you guys are just getting topside. You guys were just on, if I remember right. Am I crazy? Like way off? Thought we were doing something topside. Oh, we're getting mid. That's what it is. So we're getting mid plates. Like, and this minion is being funky. Like, we can see this minion just literally running around. That's obvious that it's a good old Nico. So it's just being cognizant of that and not playing aggressive when we do see that. Because we're getting really so many plates. What?
I really do find it funny because like it is one of those things where like when you're in game, like it makes you second guess yourself because she is a minion. But then whenever you're in spectator and you're looking at it, you're like, it's so obvious. What the hell am I doing? Right? Like
Yeah.
I've done that so many times.
And then Yellow
I think
Fever
we did
just
much better.
right when this, so you're pushing. Right when they slay it, you should be leaving. You stayed for the plates. You're gonna get the plate anyways. It would have bounced to you. I also probably run up this way. That's just me. But I think you just stay a little bit too long. Like even if you don't end up getting the plate, right when it gets slain, right now you should already be leaving because you can create distance. Like if you had already been up here, you would still get that plating, and you would be out already. So I think we just overstayed slightly in that regard. And allowed her to collapse and get a kill on you. And we're still like even all that being said, we're down 4 kills. We're up, or we're tied in gold right now, up 100, so tied. I know what you're doing here. Know that the Volibear though can cancel the aggro. I probably would have just used these. I thought you could have. I mean, you didn't know exactly where Vi was, so maybe not. But you could have. I think if you take both of these, you just run out and then flash away from the Vi if you have to. Because those give you.
You gotta
speed,
keep in
right?
mind, Vi doesn't have her ultimate. She used to kill Malzahar.
So you like right there.
A little greedy.
Yeah, but you have flash, so like you easily like if she does try and do something, you literally just take these. You get the speed buff from it because you're already ghosting.
And then you can flash the Vi Q.
Yeah, you just take this, you get faster, and you get faster for a second. And I think right here, you take this one, and then you take the next one, and you just run out. If Vi comes over, you flash her stuff. Because she doesn't have ultimate. So I think it's like you're trying to make a big play that you don't necessarily have to try and make at this point. You can just walk out.
Yeah. I tried to cook. It did not work.
I respect it. I respect it, bro. The meth lab went down in flames. He was cooking for sure. It just didn't go correct.
And we're doing good. I mean, we have 2 turrets. Like we're doing okay in terms of the macro sets. We're just making these like dumb decisions in lane, like these bad fights. He's not paying attention to minions.
I think we did much better job of that by counting minions in the third game.
Yeah, the third game we did a lot better paying attention to it. We had dealt with it before. I also think right here, so I think you guys hold on to, you have Malzahar and Ash Arrow up. I think you pull this a little bit earlier. You guys like wait to take this fight. Like right here, I'm pulling, like Renata should be taking it and then getting Malzahar ulted. She would have died 100%. Instead, we like chase and then we finally do it. And by the time we do it, they're already in a position to react and then just destroy us with the Nico MF combo. I know that Brandon was talking about the Wukong ult here too as well.
Well, you just gotta. I mean, I talked to Oni about this a little bit after the game, but you gotta realize that your teammates cannot stop MF ult, and so that's your job in the fight is to do it. So you gotta make sure you're on MF all the time, so she never even starts the ult, right? She's not gonna start it if there's a Wukong on her. But if you're safely stuck in the Nico stun, then she's gonna just unleash. So I think as Wukong, you gotta recognize that your only job is to make sure MF doesn't get a good ult, because that's gonna win their team fight every time if it's a Nico and the MF ult. That's kind of what they want to do.
But yeah, so I think right here though, at the beginning, we just need to be a little bit more aggressive with pulling the Ashe R, because you have a Malzahar to follow you up and a Wukong. Like, yeah, they're not super close, but it would have been a long enough stun for Malzahar to get in range.
And you have the turret, right? And so, like, if they try to stop you from ulting as Malzahar, they're gonna start taking aggro.
Yeah, they take
can't
aggro.
break that turret since there's no minions. Like, it's just really bad for them to fight there. Also, I think as Wukong, you're kind of playing him similar how you would play Volibear, where you're just running straight at him, and he's just not that tanky. And they also have a lot of disengage to punish that with the Nico ult and the Renata ult. So when you're looking for MF, you can't just run straight at her here. You have to be looking from an angle like the top, because Wukong can get over walls with his little cologne and also come in invisible. So you kind of want to play more like an assassin than just like run at them and face tank.
It's like a lot of top laners. You want to come in and be a flank. not be engaged. A lot of the bruiser champions. Do you think Jax,
Yeah, they're much more dangerous
Irelia, Camille?
When like they can't be CC'd, right? Because Renata's not just gonna throw her ultimate at you on the flank, right? She wants to throw it into the bulk of the team, and so it puts them in a really rough spot when you come from a different angle. They don't get a lot of value from
They don't get the value.
their big AoE ultimates.
Instead, they get it on three people. So yeah, so you just play it for the flanks, and that can be a little takes time to get used to. But if you play from the flank, but
I lose this.
yeah, I think a big issue, you keep standing kind of like when you're trading with him, right here. So like you're fine here, and you keep getting the stacks and stuff. But when you walk, like you keep dueling him, and then you stay fighting him when he like you already have the 3 stacks. You kind of almost want to like try and kite him there. Like you don't want to get hit by the W because it does so much damage to you. And you're just so far behind. At this point, I don't think you can fight him. I mean, he has a full item, and you don't. You have 2 components of an item.
He's got a level.
Yeah, it's just hard to fight there. Period. And unfortunately, and even here, like it's 1 in 10. It's obviously it's not great, but you guys are only down 2k gold right now. Like it's not. This is not insurmountable at this point.
Wait, can you check the gold right now?
I mean, you're down a lot of gold, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're down 1,000. Jungle's up 500. Mid is down 300. Bot ADC is down about 1,500. So it's rough there, but because your jungle's up and your support's up, and it's a Karma support who's gonna hit hard. It's you're not in like the worst spot in the world. Like, is it great? Obviously not, but.
Can we go back just a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not really sure. As Wukong, I mean, you get this. I don't know why you wouldn't do your wolves here. I think you just buy a phage. So, and you know Vi is bot side. So like maybe looking for an invade, staying out in the map. I don't think the phage is super valuable buy here. Worth resetting for, I guess.
Yeah, and I think just positioning there, you're just positioned too aggressively there. Like this wave, so one thing to think about too, we don't know where they are on the map, and then this wave is going to be pushing into you. Like this wave is pushing, you don't need to be in the wave contesting it. You can let it push it under turret, and then clear it there safely. Because Darius with a Q will clear those casters in one shot at this point. So it's just let the wave crash. It's okay to let waves crash into you. You don't need to be playing super aggressive at all times.
And I mean, if you see the Vi on that ward, because she did come through, like you have the tri-bush warded, you probably just leave the turret, because I think they just dive you there.
Yeah.
Turret was a little too low.
Yep. So once you see them, you just bail. You just say, okay, I'm conceding. So this one, I think, is just. I know Yellow Fever talked about it. This is. I understand what he's trying to do there, but there is just zero follow up.
Yeah, your team can't follow you over that wall at all.
Who joins? I don't know who that is.
So right here is another thing for Wukong, is just recognizing that your job is to stop the MF ult. She ends up getting off like a full channel here because you're kind of tunnel visioned on the Renata a little bit. Like I know you're Berserk, but like after the Berserk ends, you gotta just remember your job is to stop MF. Like you just have to move a little further down, and you see like 4 of your teammates are just getting shredded by it. Like they win the team fight off of that ult, and you had every opportunity to stop it, like as soon as it started.
Yeah, and I do think like if we do disrupt it, we actually win this fight. Because we're in a spot, we kill the Vi. Volibear's nowhere close. Like we're in a really good spot, but we just have to stay on the.
And Renata's just not like a high value target, right? Because she has the ability to stall out her own death for a really long time, and so like chasing her and killing her, it doesn't really get anything for your team. Like I said, Wukong's job here is to make sure MF doesn't get a good ult.
So even there, like even with like the perfect MF ult, we still trade 3 for 3. Which in the case of the game state and how far we were down in terms of kills, that was good. But we could have really easily won that fight if we just target
like
what each person's job is, and then Volibear just ults you and kills you. Unfortunately, sorry, Taddy.
It's really hard to steal without having vision of the objective. I wouldn't necessarily go over the wall in this case if you're looking for a steal. I would be sitting in like that pixel brush at the bottom and watching the health bar and then invising when it's time. Because if you're just blindly trying to do it over the wall, then you know you're kind of guessing at that point. If it's not close enough for you to smite it, then you just die it for free. So like plays going over the wall only works if you have vision, and so you're better off going off from like a bush or something.
Same kind of thing. We're just pushing up. Like it's the same concept when we're ahead. We're pushing up so far. We have no vision. We have no idea where they are, and that invisible line. So down here is really hard to push up this far because they have the advantage in the mid lane. We don't know where they're roaming and stuff. So it's really hard to just be aggressively pushing up like that. You almost kill him, but not quite.
This is a really good flash right here from Oni. I think he uses his flash. I don't know if it was intentional, but flashing to stop her Q.
Yeah, to stop the Q.
That was really good.
It does look like it was intentional.
Yeah, it did. And I do think too, you just throw this Ashar at MF like right when you're seeing it, like right now, you should already be throwing that Ashar because I think you have it up. Yeah, you have it up. It should be. You're just a little late on it. Right when you see her and you're getting the pick, just throw it on her to prevent her from doing it. And then all of you can turn on to her.
Yeah, MF's ultimate is probably one of the most dangerous abilities in the game, just because how fast it can kill your entire team. And so, like, that's got to be the focus of everybody. Obviously, Ashe in a normal front-to-back team fight isn't usually going to have an angle, but, like, if you do have an angle, you got to be ready to do it immediately. Like, that's all you got to be thinking about when you see MF is, if she ults, I got to stop her.
Ooh! Killed him. So, and even that, like, that brings us back within, like, that fight brings us back within 1.4k gold. So that's good. Like we're yes, we're down a lot of kills, but we're doing things and trading, and it's okay to do that. Especially when you're down so much, it's like, hey, take those shutdowns whenever you can get them, kind of thing.
Yeah, the nice thing about being down kills is with shutdowns, you know, because like
Shutdown
even though you
systems.
guys, yeah, if they get punished really hard for having all their gold come from kills, whereas you guys don't get punished as much for having it from CS. So even though you're down just a little gold, they still have a bunch of bounties, so you can easily come back if you make it work. And so I think this is like the main reason that you guys ended up not being able to come back in this game is because you didn't really play to your team's win condition. So you got to think about it. If we want to pause for a second here, the goal of their team is to just do a wombo combo and kill all of you with like a big Nico and MF combo. And so what you guys need to do is try to not play to that win condition, right? You don't want to just charge front to back headlong into their team comp because they're going to win that every single time just because the champions they picked have more AoE, CC, and damage than you guys do. But on the flip side, your champions have like a lot more pick potential. You have a Malzahar ult, you have Wukong who can stealth up and flank and do quite a lot of burst damage. You have Ashe arrow as well. So there's just like a lot. You guys need to play more for picks. And the way that kind of plays out, maybe you're not used to playing the pick style comp, but it's all about vision control and doing that before the enemy can set up for an objective. Because if they set up as 5 on the Dragon Pit, you guys pretty much have already lost unless you play the fight really, really well. So what you want to do is a minute before the Dragon fight, get vision, clear their vision, make them face check, and if you have deep vision on them, you can kind of see where their team is at relative to the other members, and then you can find the ones that are solo by themselves, get like an Ashe ult or a Malzahar ult, and pick them off before the fight starts. Because once they start losing pieces of their wombo combo, it becomes a lot less scary to fight them. as 5. So I think you guys just kind of didn't take advantage of the fact that you're playing sort of a pick comp and that they have a stronger 5v5. And that's kind of why it felt like you couldn't ever get back into the game, and that's why it felt like the team fights were so one-sided. It's because like that's kind of the worst case scenarios for you to just 5v5 brawl with these guys. I don't know if you agree with that.
Yeah, no, it's definitely because we're playing, and part of it is how we're taking the fights too. It's like we talked about earlier. We're like taking it where Wukong's coming from the front, and it allows Nico to set up the MF ult very, very easily. And so
yeah,
we have
can
to
go over
play...
that on those specific fights where he could have flanked maybe instead of going in front. But I think in general,
yes,
if we get to the point where they're all 5 on Dragon and you guys are all 5 outside of
They
Dragon,
win.
or maybe you guys, they've already won at that point. They have a huge advantage. You guys got to make the play before the objective is there.
Vision control.
And I liked the Ash arrow on MF. Like she was definitely out of position, but MF is probably like the hardest one to hit with that. She's just so fast. So I think maybe that's not the way you pick Ash. I mean, not Ash. That's not the way you pick
yeah,
MF.
but like if I was good.
No, I think if she's any good, she walks the other way. Like she ran in a straight line here. Like her positioning's horrible, and yeah, that's like a good time to go on her. But like Malzahar or Wukong has to be the one to pick her there because Ash arrow is just a little too hard to land. I like the idea. Nico or Renata or Vi, those are better targets for like the Ash arrows, just because they're
Unless the Ash arrows follow
fast.
up.
Yeah.
Like if you're Malzahar ulting and right before it ends, you Ash R to kind of like get them extend it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's definitely what you're trying for, right? When you see someone out of position, look for a pick.
Yeah, just throw it. That's not necessarily.
Remember, MF is, yeah, it's a good idea, but MF is just really hard to hit with an Ash arrow.
Yeah, and I think here too, I don't like you guys were. It felt like you were just very indecisive of what you wanted to do. Like you guys were like, oh, we need to get this Drake, but you guys were like, we just kind of dancing. And like he said earlier, we needed to be setting this up so we can pick them beforehand.
Because we've known for 5 minutes that the dragon's going to be spawning, and that's soul point for them. So like we absolutely have to take it, or the game just comes, like it becomes really, really hard once they get the soul point here.
Yeah,
we're just late to this.
Yeah, if they give up soul point, the game goes like at this stage before soul point. You know, we're only down 1k gold. It's 1.4k gold. It's not a huge like. Yeah, they have 3 Drakes, but 3 Drakes isn't as impactful. But once they get soul, all of a sudden it goes from like, you know, this is maybe a 60-40 game or a 65-35% game to all of a sudden it's like just because they have soul, it's like a 5% chance of winning all of a sudden, and just purely off of having soul. Because that's just how souls work. It has an Infernal Soul. It just amplifies the damage, right?
I'm a gambler. I'll take those chances.
Yeah, and we just, like I said, we danced way too long there.
Well, I think they were kind of just late at that point. Like,
yeah,
you just lose the fight if you tried to take it. It just has to happen before. You gotta recognize that you gotta be there way, way early and make sure they can't even get into position with their 5-man stack.
So, were you guys listening to the comms whenever all that was happening, right?
I was not.
I was.
So there was a point where they were talking about like, hey, we either need to get the mid prio and collapse on the volley there, or we need to just go in and fight the drag right here, right? We have to do something right here in order to get it. And then there was a moment of indecision right before they decided not to do anything on that fight exactly, right? And so, and we were talking about this before, like, even if that is the wrong play to do and you're gonna lose off of that play, you have to make a decision there and roll with it as 5. I would rather lose off of making a play as a team than not making a decision at all and slowly getting the life squeezed out of us.
Yeah, and right here, for this Baron, I think this is totally stealable. I don't know why they let Wukong get so close, but you gotta remember, so if you pause for a second, the way Baron works is whoever's tanking it does half damage, right? And so when Volibear is tanking this, or I mean, I guess Vi's on that other side, but you gotta remember that Wukong has a lot more burst than Vi does with his first auto. And that's kind of how you want to steal, right? Is if you can come in here just a little bit earlier and be stealth on there, you do your empowered auto into smite, and there's no way Vi can match that at all. like you're in smite range, you dash onto the champion, and then just miss the smite. I don't know
She just beat him on
exactly
the smite.
what was going on, but I think this was definitely stealable. I think you had to go in a little bit earlier, and then focus on hitting that Baron at the same time that you're smiting, and do that around 1700 health. It's like a pretty easy steal, and yeah, you're probably dead afterwards, but it's huge if you guys get that steal.
And this one, unfortunately, at this point, they're just going to kind of slowly bleed us out because they have the Baron, they have the Elder, they kind of have it all. Not the Elder, the Soul.
Also, here you could definitely get out. You just gotta hit the blast cone here. Like, it's super easy to just not here, but like we were almost at it, and you rewind.
Oh, which one?
No, I mean.
Oh, you force forward. My bad. I understand what you're
forward. Sorry. All right, here, just after this, you see this blast cone. Like you're not going to be able to outrun that whole team with that much health.
Just auto it.
Walk down. I mean, you could auto it from there and get some distance, or you can walk down and hit yourself over the wall. But yeah, either way, I think you could have lived there. Gotta remember the blast cones are there. They're very, very
helpful,
and they can, like, they break the game completely a lot of the time. So using the map to your advantage is huge.
So this is kind of like a little thing. So even though the cannon is big, you can tell which cannon is Nico right now because it doesn't have the purple Baron buff part on it. So if you look, so she turns into the cannon, and Nico does not turn. She doesn't get the purple Baron residue on her. See, fake one. Real one. See that purple glow?
Yep.
So that just knowing that, like, okay, she's probably one of these. Like we can tell, like right there, you can tell which one she is as long as you're looking. Because also the minion is literally just sprinting it randomly, right?
Yeah, it's not auto attacking the first.
It's not doing anything. It's just sprinting. Like it's pretty clear which one it is. So we just got to know. Part of it is getting familiarized with Nico, understanding and things like that. Kind of like same thing with bot, like when it happened bot lanes as well.
I wouldn't feel too bad about it because, like, even in higher elo,
it happens.
Yeah,
it happens to us all.
There's a lot of teams that fall to Nico because they don't understand it,
or they forget about it, or both.
I just said no one swapped to Pyro and started spy checking.
But and then here too, we talked about this. I think someone had, like you said, that you could beat Wukong, or Wukong could beat Volibear in the 1v1. I don't know if that was a conversation that happened.
That was something that Onion mentioned, that he could 1v1 him, but you gotta realize that Volibear is a duelist champion. Like, he excels in the 1v1. Where he gets kind of in trouble is when teams can kite him out. And
but
he's
he
not
is
allowed
16
to auto.
though.
Yeah, he's also an item or 2 items maybe up and 3 levels. So, like,
2 items.
And Soul, like, there's no shot you ever beat this guy.
My thought was I can match the volley and just clear waves. Like, I don't need to fight him. I can just clear him as well. But Oni did want to go match him, so I was like, okay, you got it then.
Yeah, I ended up not even damaging him. It was just very one-sided because, again, you got to remember, Volibear is a duelist. He dies when he gets kited out, and he's not allowed to auto people, and he's getting pounded on by 3 different people. So that's how you got to deal with the Fed volley is outnumber and kite him, not try to duel him.
And again, same rule. Like, you're pushing so far up, the rule we talked about last game too, right? You don't have any vision of them, and you are just so far up right now. And look at the lines, right?
Your teammates are all at the tier 2.
They're all down here, so you have no right to be this far up. You push the wave out, like even that one that you were pushing, you should have pushed it and bailed, but even then you were still in a bad spot. So I think you just have to understand where your teammates are and how far that means you can push up in respect to that. But yeah, I do think that the Malzahar has to just perma wave clear. That's just your job at this point. You do that and you try and flip Elder. You guys go for a pick. I probably would have committed to the flip of the Elder here.
Yeah.
I think that's your guys' only shot at this point of really winning is just by flipping the Elder. So, like we have, like Oni was doing blue buff. Like I get it. You're like, oh, I don't know if we can contest, but like that's your only shot in my opinion, really, to win this game is to say, okay, screw it. We're gonna try and steal the Elder and get this buff.
That's what I was trying to say at this point is that we're already so far down. We have to risk something to see if we can make a play on something, right? Like that was my thought.
Yeah, and I think that's the play. I think that going topside there, like I said, it's just the Elder is the only thing that helps you guys win team fights at this point, and so you guys just have to flip it on it.
And again, Wukong has really good steal potential when he has higher burst than the enemy, and so you should definitely be able to beat Vi out there if you can time it right. So it's always something to, I guess, recognize when it's possible for you to steal. Sometimes it's not, but I think in this case, a steal could end up flipping the game.
I think you actually do a pretty good job in terms of kiting this out, for as long as you guys do.
Yeah, there was just one more play. I think that, I don't remember, the inhib respawns or something. Where it ends up, and I think you guys had to.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's right here. It's right here.
Yeah, so like, you gotta think, they're all dead. Vi's gone for 30 seconds at this point, and your inhib's actually respawning. I think it's a little dangerous to do if your inhib's not up because you have an open nexus, but right here, all of you guys are alive.
She
and all
is
of them
super
are dead
chunked.
except for MF and Nico. So like, it's just MF and Nico, and yeah, you got to be careful because they can be really scary when you're trying to do Baron. But like at this point, what do you guys have to lose? You have no base. They have Soul. They have Elder. Your inhib's respawning, so like they can't backdoor very easily. You guys got to just pull the trigger and go Baron here.
Flip it.
In the Hail Mary.
Yeah, it's the helmet. It's similar to the.
Fuck the punt, right? Just
Because
go
if
for
you
the
don't
Hail
do it
Mary. There's
now-
3 seconds left. Fuck it.
I think in general though, like if we're down by so much, we just have to make a play happen. Like all 5 of us try to gang up and do something. Like it's better that way and go out fighting than just like bleed out to death, right? Like at the end of the day, if we're down so much, like we just have to make a play because there's no risk on our side. We're already down so much. It's more risk for them to like make a wrong play. Does that make
Well,
sense? That's
you
my
got to
thought.
do it intelligently as well. Like I said before, they want to just do the all-in 5v5 front to back, and you guys want to look for picks. So you got to play towards your strengths still as well, and not just like 5v. Because we saw how like the straight up 5v5 goes. It's usually a pretty big stomp if they get in their combo.
But that
Yeah,
being said,
like right
you
here,
do have to just
MF
flip.
just being by herself here. Like if you guys were all outside the base, I know the call was to not go for Baron, so you guys kind of all split up. But like MF is just out there. She takes the vision of it. If you didn't do it like right when you killed Volibear, then there's just no other opportunity, and they're gonna get it. And then like you guys don't have any Nexus crit, so it's kind of just GG.
Yep. So sometimes it's like I said, it's the same kind of idea with the Elder flip. Is it you kind of just have to do it, and for this case, it's hey, you kind of just have to, even though you know you could put yourself in a bad position with the Nico and the MF. Like, what do you got to lose at this point? You got nothing. You got nothing. But I think, and part of it's my fault is, is learning, like understanding what the composition in place for. Like Kirov is talking about is understanding, hey, this is a pick comp, and knowing how to play around a pick comp and things like that.
It definitely takes some practice, and not all teams are super comfortable with it. Because like the easiest way to play League is just the 5v5 team fights because it's really simple. Everybody just groups up and you kind of brawl it out. But when you lose that all-out brawl, then you got to know how to play around it.
Yeah, and then, I mean, you guys can't like they get it for free.
Yeah, well, they don't get it for free. They push down mid for it.
No. I mean, like they're gonna get the Baron at some point,
Yeah.
and then it's just we just do our best at that point. And I think you did a good job in terms of what you did in this fight. I actually think this was good to just like chase down the. And you guys kited, yeah, split them up. I think you guys actually played that decently well.
Yeah, you guys can see that even though you're down so much gold and soul and everything, that like this fight was a lot closer than when you tried to like 5v5 all in. It's because like their
They were
combo together
split.
is so much stronger. But when they're all split up, they lose that synergy.
But you guys are, like I said, it's hard being down the Elder or the Infernal Soul. It's a hard soul to be down.
And 6K.
And 6K, yeah.
I think there's just the last fight for Elder Soul, and this is another one where you gotta remember that the 5v5 is not what you guys want, and Wukong needs to be the one that's focusing on stopping MF ult, because I think right here, the way Wukong positions is kind of in the front line, whereas you can jump the dragon wall and get right behind their whole team.
Be where Karma is.
Yeah, up there where Karma is. That's just very a threatening position.
Yeah, see, they get the full combo, right? They just insta give 3 people, unfortunately. Run, Ash. Okay.
Unlucky game, and then very next game we snowballed and killed them.
Yeah, so like I said, I think the big thing is just understanding how to play against that composition, like when you get there.